What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today we're going to be going over the yellow reveals for Draft Box 6. Shout out to the community for sending me these images so we could do this video. The images were a little less clear than some of the others we got, but hey, I'll blame that on whatever source they get them from. So first up, we have Son Gohan and Icarus, new pals. It's our yellow unison, specified cost of 1. Permanent says, during your turn, if you have a skill-less battle card in play, this card gets plus 10,000 power. Alright, kind of shitty it's during your turn because 5,000 is weak. It's plus 1. Activate main says, play up to 1 yellow battle card with energy cost of 1 from your drop area in rest mode with its skills negated for the turn. And its activate 0... Its activate main plus 0 is draw 1 card. So, I mean, it brings out your skill-less cards, but bringing them out in rest mode is kind of eh. I mean, granted, it doesn't have to be a skill-less card, but I mean, it may as well be since you negate its skills. I don't know how I feel about this one. I feel like, as far as yellow's got some good unison cards, and even if you're running a skill-less deck, I don't know that maybe besides flavor, unless there's other cards that support you running this specific unison, there's just better yellow unisons. Then we've got Son Goku smashing limits. He's a 6 cost 25,000 with triple strike. His auto says, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and KO it. And when your opponent activates a counter skill, switch this card to active mode and negate this card's skills for the turn. Not terrible. Triple strike's great. KOing a battle card, ignoring barrier is pretty good. 6 cost though. That's pretty high. I mean, unless there's another card in the set or something like that that can kind of allow us to play this card for lower than 6, that's going to be a lot, especially in yellow. Then we've got Son Goku, Relentless Assault. He's a 4 cost, 20,000 with Deflect. When this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and unison cards and switch them to rest mode. Interesting. Not a bad ability there. Activate main is once per turn this card gets plus 10,000 power, dual attack, and can't attack leader cards for the turn. So 30,000 dual attack, and you're going to be able to sit there and pound the crap out of whatever you just switch to rest mode. That's not bad. That's pretty solid. It's still a 4 cost, but Deflect allows him to come out and not have to worry about not being able to punch your opponent's face in. So that's pretty solid. Then we've got Son Gohan, the battle begins. He's a 1 cost, 5,000. Auto says, add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, it gets plus 10,000 power for the battle. You may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, play up to 1 skillless battle card with an energy cost of 1 from your drop area. Ooh, that's not bad. Now, depending on the way they rule it, I mean, it's always so annoying the way card games rule different card effects, especially between, like, Dragon Ball and Magic, and there's Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, and, I mean, couldn't you just discard a skillless battle card and then get it out? I mean, you wouldn't really want to do that, I guess, just because that would wouldn't net you any card advantage, but still, that'd be a really neat ability, and, I mean, plus 15,000, he just, instead of getting, like, critical or double strike, he just brings out one of your skillless cards. Then we have Son Gohan and Icarus, Peacekeepers. It's a 6 cost, 20,000 with unique and double strike. And yes, I'm going to keep calling him Icarus because it's just easier to say than Higher Dragon, and it's just, at least give him a name, come on. EX Evolve for 1 yellow energy on a Son Gohan Youth or an Icarus with an energy cost of 2 or less. If this card would be removed from a battle area, it's sent to its owner's warp instead. I mean, that's not bad, especially since you can, you play it for 1 energy. Now, I like how they specify it has to be 2 or less, so you can't just EX Evolve it on one of those free skillless 1-drops, so definitely a good solid choice on Bandai's part there. Then we have Piccolo, the Brilliant Rogue. He's a 4 cost, 20,000 with critical. It says, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO it. Now, a few things I like about this. 1, critical. 2, that auto is not once per turn, so You can draw more than one card, KO more than one card. That's pretty solid. 4 cost is a bit steep, but that's still a pretty solid ability. I don't know. I would rather run that in like, ooh, never mind. I'm not going to say any more because I already know what I'm going to run this bad boy in. Then we've got just plain old Piccolo. He's a 3 cost, 30,000 vanilla beater. Next we've got Krillin going all out. He's a 2 cost, 15,000. Auto says add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and it can't be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn. I mean, not bad. 2-drop 15k, get to stun one of your opponent's cards, and you get to get yourself card advantage. Also helps with self-awakening, so overall a solid Krillin card. Then we've got Yajirobe with his scarf, jacket, gloves. He's bundled up. He's nice and warm and comfy in this recently cooler weather. He's a 2 cost, 20,000 vanilla beater. Then we have Icarus, a Fated Meeting. He's a 1 cost, 4,000. When this card is KO'd, draw 1 card, then play up to 1 skillless battle card with energy cost of 1 from your drop area. Activate main once per turn for 1 yellow. Choose up to 1 yellow Son Gohan Youth with energy cost of 1 in your deck or hand to play it, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. So, basically, he just lets you play your vanilla cards straight from the deck, which is straight card advantage, even if it's just for 1 energy. I mean, it's no more than you would play the card for, but that's pretty solid. I dig it. And if it's KO'd, you get to play 1 from your drop area and draw a card. So if they KO it, so they can't get the activate main, they're still giving you some card advantage there. Definite solid playability for that deck. Then we have Chi-Chi, Melee Matriarch. Wow. She's a 1 cost, 4,000. She appears to be the card that says, when your opponent switches their energy to active mode using a counter skill, place 1 card in your opponent's life and 1 card in your energy in the drop area. Yeah, so she's the yellow pseudo silver bullet for blue stuff. Then we have Bulma, the Power of Science. She's a 1 cost, 1,000. Auto says, when this card is played, draw 1 card, activate main for 1 yellow, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it, draw 1 card. Meh. I mean, you play her, she replaces herself. 1 yellow to draw 1 card, though, to me is just, there's so many better things you could do with 1 energy. And so many better cards, I believe, that you draw a card with 1 energy. This is one of those cards that I look at it and I'm like, I get it, you know, every card game, every set has some filler cards. And up until they started doing skillless stuff, that was what the skillless cards were. But instead of doing that, why not just make it to where every card in the set has actual value? I mean, this isn't bad, but to me, I see zero reason I would ever want to play this. Then we have Lord Slug, Power Overwhelming. He's a 6 cost, 25,000 with Deflect and Unique. His auto is a Bond 3 ability that says, when this card is played, choose 1. Play up to 3 Slug's Armies cards with different card names and energy costs of 3 or less from your drop area in rest mode. Get the fuck out right now. It's got Deflect, so you can't stop that. And, Now, granted, it's a 6 cost, but can't you? Ew, no. Anyway. Or, play up to 3 yellow battle cards with different card names, energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area in rest mode with the skills negated for the turn, and you can't play battle cards for the turn. That's just, ew. Ew. Now, granted, the cards that it brings out are in rest mode, thankfully. But holy hell, that's some ridiculous card advantage. Whew. And you guys know I hate Lord Slug already. Then we've got Lord Slug, Evil Invader. He's a 1 cost, 4,000. When this card is played, draw 1 card. Activate main once per turn for 1 yellow, choose 1. Choose up to 1 Slug's Army card with the original energy cost of 3 or less in your hand. Play it, then place this card in its owner's drop area. Or choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. Giving you some rest control. That's not a bad ability there. He's Slug's Army, so he's searchable. Namekian, so he's also searchable there. And basically it lets you play at the original 3 costs or less for cheaper. Because you can play him, he's going to replace himself when you draw a card. and then 1 energy to play a 3-drop, or if you're including the 1 energy to play him, 2 energy. But, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all, but at the same time, didn't we get a wings that reduces the energy cost in your hand, so then all the 3-drops would be 2 cost anyways, so then you're really not playing it for any cheaper than you would be before. I guess the only difference being there, it's what? You play wings turn 1, reduces all your guys. Turn 2, you just play a 3-drop because they're all reduced to 2. Or with this guy, turn 1, you play this guy, draw a card, and then on your next turn, use 1 energy to play a 2-drop, which leaves you with 1 energy open, but then he goes to the drop area. Whereas Wings not only is going to stay, but has Barrier. I don't know. Some of you Lord Slug fans will tell me which play you feel is better. Granted, that's also green versus yellow. So, I guess if you're wanting to run more yellow versus more green, if you're running balanced, if you're running mono, there's a lot of things to consider. But I know some of you will let me know one way or the other. Then we have Anguilla, the Graceful Warrior. I freaking hate this one, and you guys know it. He's a 3-cost, 15,000 with a unique and a critical. Of course he does. He's auto. Bond 2 says, if your opponent has 4 or more cards in rest mode, when this card attacks, your opponent chooses 2 other cards in rest mode. The chosen cards can't be switched to active mode until the start of your next turn. Ew, so if... I hate to give anybody the suggestion, but it's fairly obvious. If you were to get rid of all your opponent's battle cards and then attack with this guy, your opponent would have to choose 2 of their energy, and that would hurt like hell. I never like Anguillas. I never like them. Like, their effects always, I'm just like, I hate you. Then we have Wings, the Gargantuan Warrior. He's a 2-cost, 15,000 counterplay. Says, play this card. His auto says, if your leader card is yellow or a Slug's Army card, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode. Some good unison abilities there. We're starting to get more abilities that target unison cards, which was fairly needed because otherwise it just allowed them to run rampant. Which, I mean, unisons seem like they've become more or less detrimental to most decks in the meta. I don't think there's really that many people that don't play unison cards, so like 2 cost counterplay those kind of especially since you're not really choosing. I mean, I guess you could choose the card that they played, but at that point you're just better running Crusher Ball. Then we have Madamacha, the Minuscule Warrior. He's a 3-cost, 15,000. His auto is Bond 2 and says, when this card is removed from your battle area by a skill or KO'd, play 3 meta tokens. I don't know. I don't understand the benefit there. I mean, most of the tokens are 10,000 or 15,000. These are 5, and they don't have combo power, so... what are you really doing with these tokens? Like, this is the one character where his tokens just don't seem to generate you any kind of benefit whatsoever. Then we have Zayuin. However the hell you pronounce this guy. He's a 1-cost, 10,000 vanilla beat stick. Then we have Kakuja, Lord Slug Scientist. It says Slug's Army, but it kind of looks like it's in the Namekian under that little hood and shit. Kind of like a weird, wrinkled Namekian Garlic Jr. Who knows? You can't really see much, but it's a 1-cost, 4,000 power with blocker. Permanent says Bond 3. This card gains barrier. I mean, a blocker with barrier is great, but it's 4,000, so at best. Up next, we have To Save the Earth. It's a 1-cost activate main. It says, if your leader card is yellow, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards. It can't be switched to active mode during the next charge phase, and you can't activate copies of this card during your next turn. So, you're not going to be able to sit there and keep playing it and lock your opponent's cards down, which is a good thing because that would really just be dirty and annoying. Not a bad card, though. Then we have Whistled Melody. It's a 2-cost counterplay. It says if the battle card being played has energy cost of 4 or less, it's played with its skills negated for the turn. Activate main for 1 yellow. If your leader card is yellow and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, draw 1 card. See, another 1 energy to draw 1. Is that really good though? I feel like it's, I don't know. To me, 1 energy per draw. Again, it's got to feel like there's better cards that do that and give you something that stays on the board. And counterplaying to negated card skills for the turn, we already have counterplays that do that, and the ones we have, don't they only cost 1 energy? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of cards like this that don't really net you a whole lot of advantage costing. I mean, I get it. It's only 2 energy, but at the same time, I don't know. For me, I like lower cost counter cards just because if outside of playing like Super Saiyan 3 Reboot Goku or Blue with a lot of energy switching, how many energy are you going to have free on your opponent's turn? Because at that point, you're either playing a really weird manipulation game or you're just not playing a lot of stuff on your turn, and that's just doesn't really support how I play or how I feel like the game is supposed to be played. Then we have Tyrannical Blow. It's a 1-cost counterplay. That's what I'm talking about. It says, if your leader card is yellow, if the battle card being played has energy cost of 3 or less, it's played with its skills negated for the turn. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and negate its skills for the turn. See, that's just better. To me, that's just so much better. You negate their skills, and then you get to choose another card and negate their skills. For 1 energy. That seems better, and it seems like you're getting more out of it. Now, granted, this card targets 4 or less, but it's really not much big of a difference, and if you're going to cost another energy, so 3 energy total, and draw a card, or 1 energy and negate the skills of 2 cards, this is easily just the better play in my personal opinion. Then we have Super Namekian Might. It's a 1-cost counterattack. Says if your leader card is yellow, negate the attack. Then you may choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. If you do, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and negate its skills for the turn. Not terrible. I mean, again, it's a 1-cost. This stops an attack, and you get to negate a card's skills. So I still feel there's more benefit to this card than there are some of the other cards. I might be wrong, but again, as far as like higher cost counter stuff, I'm just not a fan of it unless there's a way you can really take advantage of it. Then we have King Piccolo, the Exterminator. He's a red-yellow 3-cost with 19,000 power with energy exhaust, barrier, and offering has made a return. His auto says, when this card is played, choose 1. If your opponent has 5 or more life, deal 1 damage to them, or choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier, and it gets minus 20,000 power for the turn. So, offering is always nice. And then you're going to come out and just deal 1 damage to them, or more than likely kill 1 of their battle cards. Pretty solid. He gets barrier, which is nice. And it's nice. It's nice to get more King Piccolo stuff. I'm always happy to see more King Piccolo. Then we have Son Goku, Plan for Victory. He's a 5-cost, red-yellow, 25,000, energy exhaust, critical, and triple attack. What the hell is that? Activate main for 1 red, 1 yellow, 2 other. If you or your opponent's life is at 2 or less, play this card from your hand. Okay, so when it's... I guess that's why it's Planned for Victory, because like, haha, they're low. Play it for 1 less. Yeah, it's not terrible. I know what I could do with this Goku to... It's a World Martial Arts Tournament Saga, but it doesn't have a World Martial Arts Tournament Saga trait. Come on. Come on with that shit. That would have been a great card that you could play in, like, Announcer or some just crazy shit. Anyway, his auto says, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and negate its skills for the turn, and it gets minus 25,000 power for the turn. That's not bad. Getting to play it for 4 isn't bad. and getting critical 3 times is not bad either. Granted, one of those attacks can also be negated. They could all 3 be negated, but gives you a good couple of chances. And plus, if you combine that with stuff like Champa or Supreme Kai, get them some good critical damage. And a very, very easy chance. If they're at 2 or less and you play this, 1 critical double strike triple is going to kill them easily. Then we have Yajirobe, a new ally. He's a 2-cost red-yellow, 16,000. Choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. When this card is played, play up to 1 skillless battle card at engine cost of 2 or less from your drop area, or choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, switch it to rest mode, and this card gets plus 9,000 power for the turn. This one's actually not bad compared to the other 2-drop 16 multicolor cards in this set. Switching one of your opponent's cards to rest mode and getting up to 25,000 power gives you a good way to kill a battle card, or in the case of Unison, get rid of some of those markers. So I feel like this one's more solid than the others. And of course, you have to play a skill list, blah blah. I don't know why they all have that. Why they all have that skill? Because if you're not playing a deck dedicated towards a skillless strategy, that's a completely useless ability on a card. But that's going to go ahead and wrap up today's video here. I apologize for the quality. It's a little... The card quality, the image quality we got was a little less than the other videos that we did. And that's in no fault to whoever... And that's in no fault to the people that... And that's at no fault to the community members that sent us the image. Wow. And that's at no fault to the community members that sent us these images to allow us to do these videos. And, you know, I always edit these images, too, without actually looking at the cards. So when we get around to doing the actual video, you guys are getting, like, genuine reaction to these card effects. Like, I don't look at the stuff prior and then go, holy shit, I can't wait to do this video. No, it's like, we're doing this video on the spot. And that's what I miss about the way they used to do stuff, is they'd put up all the stuff on the site, and we would just go straight to the site, and we'd scroll down, and we'd see the stuff as soon as you saw the stuff, and I miss those videos. I don't really miss when they used to upload that shit at 3 in the morning, but when they started doing it at 9 in the morning, that was much better. So... But let me know what you guys think of yellow for this set. I feel like yellow is not my cup of tea. I don't really like tea that much, although the brisk tea is not bad. But that's off topic. But if you're wanting to play yellow skillless Gohan, there's definitely good support here for you. If you're wanting to play Slug, shame on you, but there's some good support here for you too. Let me know what you guys think of these new cards in the comments down below. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here, and we'll see you guys in the next video.